And hello everybody and welcome back to Arcanus Gaming. Arcanus here bringing you some more Space Engineers and the Heaven's Gate Survival series. Now, as last time you guys saw, I was making some solar cells like this one. I since did a bit of refining on them, and as you can see I've created this sort of more curved end. I do need to re-lay out these solar panels so they're all facing the same way. I'm not sure about these in the middle. Maybe leave them as they are. I haven't figured that one out. But I'm not going to sort that out just yet. I've spent quite a lot of time sorting out these panels. I think I'm going to make the surround on the other one and then take them apart, reassemble them as I see fit once I can get the my energy management sorted out. But saying that, as it stands, if I go back into character mode, so F6, I go control panel and I go batteries, or batter in this case, and I look at the batteries. Both my room 1 and room 2 of batteries are completely fully charged now, so that is great. So, excuse me 2 seconds. Oh, I don't know where that came from, but sorry about that. Okay, so what I'm thinking today is I've been asked about these slopes, about how I built. I think the question was more towards these triangular slopes. So I do need to start putting in the coverings for the back of the ship. So I think today I'm gonna focus more on sorting this this problem out and sort of go from there. So if I can get the angle right. So let's start with just adding in our basic parts, and then what we'll do is right, there's 2 ways we can do this. We can add a block in, add the next stage, add a block in, add the next stage, and go up. I mean, that's one way of doing it. Would create a much better seal between the stages. So let's do that. Basically, it means we won't get the horrid seam come up. Because we want to create as smooth as possible surface. And we can always take them out, add in different blocks as we go along, as we're building. So, oops, wrong one. So, I think to begin with, we'll just start with that. Then that will give us a basis that we can build up the side with. Now, this one here is going to be a bit more of a challenge because we're on... Oops, I've got the wrong one. It's that one. That's just going to be the slope corner heavy armoured. And it's just going to go along here. And then it's going to join onto this lot in a bit. So for this, I'm going to need... Oops, I didn't mean to put that in. It's the wrong block anyway. Yeah. There it is. And then we can use this one in here. Sort of going up here. Trying to remember which block it was I used after this. I think it was still in that same one. Yeah, there we go. Ooh. Yeah, heavy armoured slope corner base. So we want that in here. Ooh. And that's going to be just a simple corner block. No, actually, no, we don't need the corner block for this. Sorry, my bad. Let's get rid of those. Because that... if I can turn this around correctly, will just be more of those. Put the wrong one in there. And then followed by one more of those. It was the other way, wasn't it? There we go. Where is it? Right, so it's created our sort of checkerboard corner there. Now this is going to be the challenge, is excuse me, is merging all of this up there. I'm not entirely sure how we're going to do this, because normally I would start off with something like that. And then I would add in the various pieces as I'm going along to sort of create the slope like that. But this isn't our typical corner. So yeah, finding something that's going to go in there is going to be an absolute ache. It's probably going to be a speciality piece. I think I've shot myself in the foot on this one. Okay. How am I going to create this then? Right, I think what I might have to do is go the other way. Nope, 5, there we go. And that is try and let's get rid of what we got in your inventory. And what I'm thinking we're going to have to do is
inventory full. Inventory full. Inventory.
Take that out. See about going the other direction to begin with. So this would be like that. And then can we get a block in there? Almost. Well, that sort of suits the bill. But can we get something in there? That's the question. I think I see how that block works. I think we can then merge that back in with our normal. Maybe not that one. More normal, sorry, I should say. Block pieces. There, because that sort of works there. Because then that's that one. Alright. But then there's the problem of, as we bring this up and across, would this still be a problem? Because that's going to go up at a 45-degree angle rather than sloping across that way. Have I jumped the gun? I think the answer is yes. Because blending that in is going to be an absolute nightmare. It's going to look fantastic when it's done, but it's going to be an absolute nightmare in the interim. So,
Energy low.
oh, for crying out loud. I swear this energy is running faster these days. Seem to spend more time in here than I do actually doing the job. Problem is I don't like using vessels because of the fact that I can't get in intimate enough to be able to do the building work. That allows for that nice smooth transition down. But it's blending it onto the corner that's going to be an absolute ache. Okay. I think we go the other way.
Inventory full. Inventory full.
Whoops. Yeah, let's take this the other way. From the center going up. Going down, sorry. Yeah, because I think that's the way we're going to have to do it. That goes like that, that goes like that. And then have that blend in at that point there. Six. Obviously can't put that one there. Oh yeah, that is actually going to look quite nice. So it comes down this nice slope here, and then it angles again, and then angles down. Oh, that is going to look quite spectacular. Right, obvious question. How high do I want this to go? Because this is the current ceiling of it. I want to have like some tunnels, maybe 2 or 3 tunnels coming between this section and a section over here. So what have I got in my inventory? 220 of those. Okay, I think to be able to work this out, I think I'm going to have to sacrifice some steel plate. Okay. So 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Alright, so that's going to be a 14 high piece. Okay. Let's get rid of most of this before it decides to fill them in. Little too late. Oh, that's filled up my inventory mostly with steel plate, so that's good. We can work with this. 1, 2, 3. Right, well, we said it's 14. So that'll make 4 once we're done with this one here. Unfortunately, this is the boring part. I think you'll find this is because of the fact that you're going to be spending ages trying to figure out how does this go together, which blocks do I need. I mean, I think, however, I am going to make things a little more simplified for myself. And I need that, and that. I think that's the easiest way I'm going to be able to put these blocks together is by... I wouldn't say cheating. Oh, bollocks. That's light. That is light. Heavy armor, heavy armor. Heavy armor, heavy armor. Heavy armor. I know that's the light one. Muppet. Gotta make sure you get the right armor types, obviously, otherwise you end up doing what I've done. You know you got the heavy because it's got the KG symbol in the corner. You know, and that one there. Eight. Okay, so this should be a little easier to transition because this uses like the... Right, if I come over here a minute, what it'll do is it will use this sort of sloped section to translate it, come back over here, into this section. So, excuse me. So let's get this going. So 5 would go there, 6 would go there, there, and then 5 would also go there. So it's going to create, like you see here, it's going to create these nice triangles that we need. And then we can sort of blend it in as if it was like one sort of like curved dome, if you will. I mean, you can't do that obviously in this game, but it's about as close as you're going to get. So you see how that's already coming about, already looking quite the thing. So let's take this up to its ultimate 14 on this section here. You know, on
Energy
the
low.
once we get some energy, let's take it up to its ultimate 14-step conclusion. Game mechanics allowing. Sorry, moving around in the seat, trying to get comfortable. So I'm anything but at the moment. Okay. Wait. Right, for this we're going to have to go back here, go back to... So that'd be 5. Six. 7. 8. Hold on, let's just double check this again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So the next one's going to be our 10. So what I'll do is I'm just going to make that yellow for the moment, just that we have a visual reference that is step 10. Because you know what my memory's like. So that's 12. And Lord knows how I got that in place. Yep, that is actually in place. So 10, 12, 13. And 14. And then I'll sort of go on from there, yeah. Wow, that's quite a bit of a roof that we're putting on this thing. So yeah, that's going to allow for quite a number of decks. Some of them we could probably miss out a deck, if you will, and have like a double deck. And then that will allow us to do things like maybe add in a load more jump drives if we can find the gold for it, if we got the gold for it. Things like that. Okay, so that's filled itself in quite nicely, so we can actually now see how the tail of this is going to be. So we also come down to here. Forgot I can actually go there. We sort of get an idea of what this is going to be, like. Once we build it up, it's going to be quite spectacular. I really can't wait to see how this shapes up and how it's going to move around. This is going to be quite epic. I just think I've got to build the other side of this eventually. Now what we can do is, seeing this, I mean, we could always build this up going up this way. But I'm going to stick with the tried and tested pattern. So let's go back to 3. So go 8. And then from here we can sort of work out where we're going from here. Oops, more readily. That sort of builds us up there quite nicely. That's quite a nice smooth transition. Just going that way. And then we can just rinse, repeat the process. Once you've done this a few thousand times, it becomes a little easier to remember the sequence. But it's amazing how simplistic it is when you get this sort of far. I remember the first few times I tried doing this, I was having difficulties trying to remember the sequence. And sort of do it now almost with my eyes shut. Oh, that one hasn't been built, that's why it looks different. Thing is, though, as I usually say, even though I could probably do it with my eyes shut, I don't think I want to try doing it because I would probably end up making mistakes. Then that does that. And dun, dun. I mean, actually, we're getting quite up here quite quickly. I mean, you know, we've got this sequence sort of starting to come together as a bit of a fine art now. What the heck?
Inventory full.
I'm not entirely sure what happened there. I think I must have double-clicked a number or something. Excuse me. Right. Oh, I think I must hit V. Okay. So after this we'll be on layer 8. So where am I? 6. Oops. Hit the wrong key. Easily done. There we have it. That would look funny otherwise. There we go. So, yeah, this is got to be the most boring part of the job. You know, it would be nice if there was an easier method, but does allow for a hell of a lot of customization. Where am I? 4. So it goes there and there. Goes there, there and there. Oh, sorry, that's 9. Oops, I think I've gone a bit too high there. No, don't build that. Don't build that. But then, yeah, this will make 10. So, you know, we are getting there. Eight. No, 7 in there. Then 9 there and there. Then 8 can go there and there. So we can put 7 there, there, and there. Then 9 goes on top of them. Wrong one. It's so easy to get out of sequence sometimes.
Energy low.
I think that then is this new sequence. So alright, so I did miss that there. Right, well we're getting to, do you know what, let's get some oxygen as well, so let's use the rust bucket for this. Now get some liquid energy known as coffee. Oh wow, actually that is actually looking quite spectacular. I mean, to think, for ages all we had was this, what looked like a giant plate, and now we're starting to get shape and form and hopefully eventually some colour. Because at the moment, outside of the ship is kind of monochrome, save for that little bit of austere gold sort of colour at the front. Yeah. Now this is going to be a challenge, is transitioning this, but all right, let's get this in place though. Itch. 6, 5. No, I put in the wrong piece there. So it's going to be 5, 4, 3, 6, 5, 4, 3. There we go. And just 6 and 5 there, because then we go to our oops. And then 7 will go there, there, and there. 9 there, there, and there. So we've got 2 more rows till we hit the top. But now we've got this added challenge. What do we do with this? So I think for this we're going to have to be a little bit more tactical in what we do. Now if we sort of go around the other side for a second and we discuss tactics, we know up until this line here, we've got a set pattern. So let's keep following that pattern up to the ultimate conclusion here. We'll do this, I think, layer by section by section here, rather than so probably be something like this. And then there, and then oh, I see how this is working. Yep. So 7, 9, 8, 7, 9. Alright, so we've got one more row to go. So that brings us there. Now for the fun part. I prefer doing it the other way because it is so much easier. But in this particular case, what choice do I have? Right, so now I need to find... Excuse me. Now I need to find the relevant pieces that go in here.
Inventory full.
Okay, so... Oh, actually, that works. Then I don't need to put anything there because that sort of transitions from that corner up and then across. So, I mean, obviously, I'm not going to sit here for hours on end with you guys watching me do all of this, but let's get the sun round so you guys can see what I'm doing. And also, I can see now that I've got a block out of place. Somehow.
Inventory full. Inventory full.
How is that out of place? I don't know how that happened, but there you have it, guys. You can actually start to see how this is going to work, and then you can see how it's going to then sort of like get an idea of how it's going to sort of like plateau out. So we can always build that out a bit before we end the episode. Yeah, so yeah, let's build this up. So we're going to sort of find it's going to do something like this. See if I can figure out with the block sequence here.
Energy low.
It's probably going to be like that there. be out of energy now, wouldn't I? You can see as I was sitting there how it's sort of like working its way to sort of this corner over here. So I think I'm going to build it out a bit more. So I think it's going to do something like this in the end. If I'm reading this right, that is. Because that'd be like that. Yeah. So this down here is going to be like your 45 slope like that. So that's going to come down down to like this point here. So if we continue building this up. Oh, wrong toolbar. It would also help if I use the correct parts as well. And we're starting to get the sequence sort of down pat, aren't we? He says, then messing up. Typical me. Open my big gob and I make stupid mistakes like that. Right. So that's going to sort of meet up with that like that. And then that's going to be like that. So you can start seeing how this is going to end up like a bit of a wall coming down here. You've got this 45-degree slope forming that's going to come down here as well. So that's probably going to be easy to do as just... Whoops. If I can get the sequencing right. So as you guys can see, we're now coming out of this triangular section now. It's now going to be a case of like coming forward with this 45 slope and the flat top from this point in. Yeah, it's... You can already see how it's adding a little bit more shape, bit more character to the outside of the ship. So I think it's now going to be a case of leaving it to fulfill all its needs by building it up. I've still got to finish off with the solar panel on the port side, so that's the one furthest away from us. Yeah, the top of the screen, I should say. So I think once those are built up, I can then start building the rest of that slope section at the back, and then building the rest of that cover forward, and then we can bring it to a point where we're happy, and then build those walkways that I was talking about between the two sections, and having something that looks a bit more like a carrier. And then from there, it's just adding like solar paneling to the outside of the ship, adding in some detail, adding weapon systems, things like that, because at the moment we've got no defense on this thing whatsoever. Alright guys, well I'm going to leave that with you guys now. I hope you enjoyed the episode, and I'll catch you next time on Arcandus Gaming. Remember to hit that subscribe button, smash that like button, tap that notification bell, leave us that nice comment below. I look forward to seeing you guys on the other side.